but it's nice for me to see some snow and freeze my tail off a little bit. My talk today is how to pick and use drills. And part of the reason I chose this subject is because I get around a lot with various programs down in the Southeast, as I'm a Resolute rep, so I visit a lot of different programs and I ride around with a lot of coaches in their launches. And what I see out there is dovetails right into what Larry was showing on the ergometer and what Steve Hargis was talking about junior national team, is the things that are done out there on the water are overlooked by so many coaches, and you guys are hopefully preparing not only for your racing season coming up, but also the future of your rowers as they progress onto, say, a junior national team or a national team. But how to pick and use drills. Drills are nothing more, to recapitulate what Larry said last night, is making something permanent. You want to repeat something to make it permanent and not just repeat it. So if you recall the movie Forrest Gump, there was a guy in there named Bubba. And Bubba had a great little segment in there where he was talking about all the different ways to make shrimp. And I mean, I think it put Tom Hanks to sleep because he was still going on and on and on. It was shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. And if you think about the drills, here's some of the drills. There are balance drills, there are feather drills, there's hand drills, there's finger drills, there's feet drills, there's paws drills, there's back drills, there's height drills, there's level drills, there's control drills, there's wrist drills, there's elbow drills, shoulder drills, posture drills, swing drills, recovery drills, finish drills, catch drills, power drive drills, breathing drills, outside arm drills, inside arm drills, square blade drills, and not so square blade drills. In other words, you can make a drill for any part of the stroke that you want. All right? And it was alluded to here earlier that you need to identify the stroke you want. You need to have a picture of what you want to do. And before you can say, I need to fix this, you need to know what the big picture is of your stroke. So you have to do what Steve said, is you kind of have to write down or have in your head, what do I want my rowers to look like? Do I want them to look like this Olympian over here, or last year's junior national team? Do you want them to look like a sculler? Do I have a 14-frame entry or a 2-frame entry? Okay? And don't forget, there's drills for novice coaches. Some of you are novice coaches. What about maneuvering drills? Biggest thing I see out on the water is kids can't maneuver the boat under different conditions. So you need to teach your kids and drill them on how to maneuver the boat. Backing it up, turning it around, rolling with your 2 and 7 or your 8 in bow seat, or even pairs of those to turn in crosswinds. Do your kids react to their side? Do they react to their number on cue? Because you have all right? Warm up is a great time to do some of the drills. Cool down is a great time to do some of the drills. Maybe it's 15 or 20 minutes tops in your practice. All right? Some days maybe only a technique and drill day. Other days you may not even go there at all. It's your choice, okay? But drills can be done from your toes to your nose, there to up here, because your head, what's it have on it? It's got your face, it's got your eyes, it's got your mouth, it's got your ears, and some people don't use their ears, which is directly connected to your brain, and you know that. And then you have your shoulders and arms. The shoulders, whether they're shrugged up like this, your arms, whether they're bent in the drive or whether they're extended in the drive. Okay? You've got the back and chest. Some coaches say, stick your chest out. Another one say, don't round your back. I mean, you've got every little nuance of the stroke that has to be looked at. The lower body, your hips and your glutes. I don't hear coaches ever really talk about the hips and the hip angle, what I call the hip angle. If I can hop up here like this. Oops, there goes my mic. The hip angle, if I'm sitting here, this is a collapsed hip angle. And you see what happens, my chest goes down. And all I'm doing is letting my hips rotate back like this. If I sit tall, I'm not moving, all right? And my chest is out, but I'm not sticking my chest out. Collapsed versus sitting tall. It's hard for rowers to sit tall for a long period of time. They typically want to relax and collapse it down. So that's a huge thing for posture in a boat. And then you go to the little stuff, upper body. The little stuff is your hands, wrists, and fingers. It's forearms, elbows, and upper arms. You need to isolate all these little areas. The head. You know, the head is, it can either be 12 pounds of ugly fat or it can be what you hear into your brain and make everything work. I think I covered all the other little things in here, but body weight control. To me, rowing is control of your body weight. You're moving your weight forward and backward. Yes, you got muscles attached to it, but how you swing and move that body weight, yes.
You step one more.
The movable mirrors are things, a mirror on wheel. It's basically a big mirror on wheel. It's movable so you can move it side to side, angle it, but it also pivots this way. And I found that if you can change the look where the rower is looking at the mirror straight on or off to the side or a little bit angle up, a little bit angle down, they can see a lot more. So if you could incorporate a movable mirror, that would be great. And the last thing is on the rowing site, Row2K, the Rowing Hacks has a lot of cool little stuff, and that's where I found out about what you said last night about the feathering thing. I thought, wow, that's great. Rowing Hacks seems to be one of the areas where you could pick up some little details. Thank you very much. I'll take questions later on.
Thanks,
okay.
Casey.
You're something like your roommate. So let me do Casey's introduction now, since he decided to go. So Casey rowed at FIT, then rowed Vesper, been around for years, coached at FIT, and Resolute for how many years now, Case? Right, and with the national team, elite level. But one of the nice things about Casey is that he, in his job now, he gets to see so many different things. He gets to see ride-alongs and launches and see what coaches are doing and see what's in their boathouse. Casey's great in terms of information. So I'm going to offer you up, Casey, especially because you broke our thing, is email Casey. Casey's really responsive. He's got a very, very good eye for what works. And what we asked Casey to come in is he and I were talking, like I asked him, I said, Case, what are you seeing out there right now? And he said, I'm seeing a lot of people that are doing drills that aren't sure why. They're doing drills because, well, my coach did drills, or they're doing drills like, oh yeah, these guys rode by and they were doing this drill. That looked really cool. And so sometimes we do drills because we don't know why. I'm guilty also. Or sometimes we do drills because we think they'll do something good, there's a problem, but then we don't take time to evaluate it. Did that drill help? Sometimes we don't know that, and that's a really important question. We recently lost one of the great rowing coaches, Alan Rosenberg. And I can remember Alan, I was lucky enough to know him well, and he came over here several times, and one day he was riding in the launch, and I tell you, when you have a coach in your launch that's won the men's 8 at the Olympics, you want to bring your A game, right? And so I thought I'd pull out these drills, and so I laid this drill on the team, and Alan said, move away, please, from the launch. I mean, from the boat. And I was like, uh-oh. They had the mother-dad tone to him. And he said, why are you doing that drill? And I said, and he said, is there a problem that you're trying to solve? And I said, and he said, okay. And then that was it. And ever since that time, I've always tried to conceptualize, is a drill I'm doing helpful? And I think, and Larry, and we did a nice session last night, Coach Gluckman did an hour and a half down there and talking about the ergs. And one of the things is, Larry mentioned, is we should do no harm. And sometimes drills do harm. And so I think it's an important part. So that's why we asked Casey to talk about that. And then I wanted to segue into, are we?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to try to get you